Welcome. I'm Nicole, and today I'm going to be telling you the story of how I met my husband. Long story short, I was his boss. So in October of 2023, I moved to Vancouver, Washington to live with my younger 22-year-old sister who was pregnant at the time and wanted some help with being a first-time mom. And so I transferred with my company and started a new management position where there is a total of 3 managers in a retail store with about 50 employees, and maybe less at the store. I transferred since then. Maybe like 26 employees. And so on my first day of work, I came home and my sister asked me how it was and how it went. And I said, good. There is this really cute guy at the sporting goods counter though. It's really cute 30-year-old guy. And so a few months went on, and whenever we were closing the store together, we ended up hanging out in the parking lot and chit-chatting for 20, 30, 40, sometimes upwards of an hour. I forgot to say minutes a few seconds ago, but that's okay. So we would sit and talk in the parking lot for upwards of an hour. Now, keep in mind, I moved here in October, and this is Vancouver, Washington. So it's cold by 9 p.m., 8:30. It's cold, it's dark, it's wet, it's rainy, it's stormy, and here we are sitting there freezing with our hoods up, just gabbing like little schoolgirls. It was so sweet, and it's one of my favorite memories to look back on, just the compilation of us sitting out there in the freezing cold, talking to each other, not wanting to go home. And so there was one point that I got to where there was an ice storm, and I thought for sure Jacob, 31-year-old, plays it cool guys, for sure gonna use it as an excuse to call out of work and play hooky. No, he shows up to work and has these micro spike little shoe attachment things that he just slips over his sneakers so that he could go out and retrieve the carts in the parking lot safely, and so that none of the older employees had to go out and do that. So fast forward to that night after we closed the store. Like usual, we are standing there in the parking lot, talking, chit-chatting, freezing, and it's literally an ice storm in Vancouver, Washington. If anyone's from around here, you know how bad it was last year in mid-January. And so there we were, and we decided to finally break apart, go our separate ways, go to our cars, and I go to turn, and Jacob just calls my name. Nicole? I'm like, turn around. Yeah? And he just frozen, standing there staring at me. He doesn't say anything for a minute until I have to pry it out of him, like, what's up, Jacob? Like, spit it out. Like, what's going on here? And he just so sweetly and politely and kindly just offers, can I walk you to your car? I'm worried about you slipping without, with your shoes. And so I agree. I say, yeah, you can walk me to my car. And I stand there, and he walks over to me, and he offers his arm for me to take. And I take it, right? And it is the best form I have ever seen on a real-life human man. What? And then my heart it's like skipping a beat. I'm getting butterflies thinking about it. And he still opens the door for me to this day, by the way. I recently went like 3 weeks without opening it in the winter, and I forgot how gross and grimy it was. It was like, ew. Anyways, I digress. He, gets me to my car and opens my door for me. I get in, and then he closes the door for me. Closes the door behind me. It was just like, who raised you? Are you from the South? Born and raised in Vancouver, Washington? What? Okay. Like, that's cool. And so at this point I am in love with him, obviously. How could you not be? And so about a week goes by before we close the store together again and have one of our little parking lot chit chats. And at this point I agree to let him have my phone number. And so we text that night. The next morning, he brings me a McDonald's breakfast, and he brought the other manager some pizza sticks from the gas station next door because he thought that the other manager liked pizza sticks. But that other manager sat there and was all bratty about how, why do you get a special breakfast, even though we were both brought in breakfast. I digress again. And so the day after I agree to let my now husband, my former employee, have my phone number, my direct supervisor assigns for me to give Jacob his annual employee evaluation. And so the very first day of our relationship, well, technically we weren't like exclusively dating, but still, the first day that we decided to be anything besides platonic boss and employee, I had to give him his employee evaluation. And that is still, to this day, over a year later, the most recent one on his employee file. So, yeah, that's some cosmic karma for you. Love it. Love karma. That was, I couldn't believe it. I was so nervous. I was shitting bricks. I'll just say it. Okay, so the next day is my day off, and this is the day of our second official date, because the previous night we met up and went for a drive and went to eat some Mexican food at Muchas Gracias. So the next day is my day off, and he has me meet him at a cute little diner for lunch. But there is 2 diners in Vancouver, and I'm new and not very good with maps and directions, and so I show up at the wrong diner while he is on his very strictly timed 1-hour lunch, including travel time from clock in and clock out. And keep in mind, I'm his boss, and I am very, very aware that it is already an ongoing issue, that he is tardy and late and attendance problems. So I really did not want to be adding to this problem. I showed up to the second location just so embarrassed. I felt so bad. I felt like we just needed to like order food to go, or just like not, I wouldn't eat, or like, I don't know. And he was just like calm and chill and like, no, like let's just sit down and order, it's fine. And so we sat there and had a lunch, and he was late to get back to work, of course. And so later that night, I picked him up at his friend's house at about 11 p.m. They had been hanging out, had some drinks, because when he got off of work that day, a drunk kid came into the store and spit on his friend and called him the N-word, and Jake had to help remove him from the store. And that friend did get fired, unfortunately. Jacob would have as well if he was on the clock and not on his way out of the store. But so long story short, he had a day. So he played some cards with his friends, had some drinks, and had me come pick him up to go on a drive and show me around Vancouver, because I obviously don't know where anything is. Now, if you're familiar with Vancouver, and I think it's the Vancouver Lake area, then you most likely know what the Lower River Road is. So, we are going down this road. I'd never been on it before. What Jake tells me from the passenger seat is, these speed bumps are easier if you go faster on them, because that road has a whole bunch of ginormous speed bumps on it, right? And apparently they're easier if you go faster on them. So I increase my speed and go 45, 50 miles an hour down this road that I've never been on before. And I expected it to be a road, which usually just continues until you turn, or it just doesn't, and it's a road that you can drive on indefinitely. No, apparently Lower River Road has one singular sign saying that it's like a dead end and you need to turn around. So if you blink and miss it, or cutely sing at your date and miss it, then boom, you are in crater-sized potholes, bro. What? It's what you would expect on the moon or something. I'll put some pictures in right here, but dude. What? And so we hit that pothole going 45 or 50 miles an hour because the speed bumps are easier when you go faster, and we fly a good 100 yards out. And it's Vancouver. It just was an ice storm the previous week. So all that water is melted and in these crater-sized divots. And so we land into one, and our instinct is to open our doors, and when we did that, water came flooding in. So we had to roll down the window and crawl out and onto the side bank. Yeah, we spent multiple hours out there. I don't think anybody came to pick us up until 2:30 or 3 in the morning. I was like, don't worry, my sister just had a baby. He's up every 2 hours. She'll see this and respond. No, my nephew slept through the night for the first time ever that night. She woke up all refreshed and then saw my text messages and panicked and came downstairs to make sure I made it home. It was ridiculous. How is that for some trauma bonding? I mean, that's pretty funny if you don't even know. I'm going to link my, our ATV trauma story here, because this is only the start of our trauma bond. It's been a year since then, and the rest is history. And we got married 1 week after 1 year of officially dating. We eloped in Reno. So this is my story of how I met my husband. Thank you for coming along for this little journey with me, this little ride. I brought this coffee over and got too excited and didn't even really drink it. Good thing I didn't make this a coffee talk vibe or something specific. Dang. Anywho, if you would like to see any more content from me, I post some podcasts, I post Get Ready With Me, lifestyle, just kind of whatever. My niche is low-key just chaotic, mental health, just me. Emma Chamberlain vibe, if you will. And yeah, if you're interested at all in that, feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of when I post. If you want to see other content of mine, I know I'm very, very new, but I've got a few other channels on YouTube. I've got an outdoor channel if you like camping or the woods or anything like that. Scenery, car drive podcast is something I do on there. And then I also have a art channel, which I like to do painting in the woods, creating painting collections, paint with me, paint and chat, my art studio tour, whatever. Just kind of plugging myself in here. Yeah, that's where all of my content is at. I'm new on all my socials and platforms, so feel free to check me out and support a new girl if you would like to. Thank you. Have a very, very good day. I appreciate you being here. What is next? I am batch making my videos for all my across my platforms today. So this one's number 3. My voice is a little sore at this point, but we're chilling, having a good old time. I'm just giving you time to select a new YouTube video, really. If you're still here hanging out, what's up? Thanks. Come again. See you next time. Subscribe. Say hi. Let me know you made it all the way to the end. Anyways. Anywho. Peace.